Hey, what's going on, man? Hola, amigo, ¿cómo estás? Guten Tag, wie geht's dir? So either you're new to World of Tanks, or you've been playing it for a while and just have some questions, or whatever. But you want to know how do you play World of Tanks for free. Well, I've been playing World of Tanks since August 2012. In that entire time, I have spent some money on the game, but I've never bought any premium ammo, never bought any premium account, never bought any gold or special premium tanks. The only times I have spent money on the game was buying what's called gold. And you can see that up here in the top right hand corner of the screen. Gold is useful for, and the only times I really used it, is to remove what's these modules, what they call modules from the different tanks. And I'm going to talk to you about that in a second. But the long and short of it is I was trying to get to, the point I was trying to get across is I've played since 2012, August 2012. And I've never paid for a premium account or anything like that. So I am a free player. So how do I go about doing it? Well, before we get into that, there's a couple things you got to know. The first one is it's a tough road to hoe. It's going to take you a long time to build up enough money, build up enough credits for different tanks. It's going to take you a long time to unlock things. It's going to take you a long time to do all that kind of stuff. But that's just the way it is. You're not going to spend any money, so it's going to take you a while. Wargaming specifically makes it like that, so they give you the incentive to pay for things and to buy premium time. The second thing is you got to use, or this is really the crux of the whole thing, is you got to be frugal and you got to use your lower tier tanks to essentially pay for your higher tier tanks. Now, as I said, it's going to take you a long time to build up enough money. I've been playing, again, since August 2012, and I just recently, maybe within, 6 months ago, so probably after roughly playing the game for probably 10 or 11 months, I finally got a tier 9 tank. So it's going to take a while, and I haven't played nonstop every single day for hours on end. However, I have played quite a bit. As you can see here, I have 4,730 games. So I played quite a bit of World of Tanks. The easiest way to play for free is you use your lower tier tanks to pay for your higher ones. Now, what kind of tanks are those? Those are going to be your tier 4 tanks, your tier 5 tanks, and your tier 6 tanks. You can see here I have a tier 5 Stug. It's one of my favorite tanks in the game, not only because it's really fun, but it makes a lot of credits for me. Right around tier 5 is kind of the sweet spot. That's where you're going to maximize your ability to do damage, which is going to turn credits for you, earn credits for you, while minimizing the cost to repair. So if this thing gets destroyed, it's going to cost maybe 2,000 or 3,000 credits to repair it. The ammunition that goes into this, let's click on the service here. The ammunition that goes into it, 109 credits per shell. So it's extremely cheap ammunition to fire. I don't have any statistics about how much it actually costs to repair this, but you're talking anywhere between 0 and 5,000 credits per tank to repair it at about a tier 5. Tier 6, you're starting to get a little bit more costly to repair and to resupply it with ammunition. Tier 4, you're not doing very much damage. So tier 5 is kind of the sweet spot. You want to have a couple tier 5 tanks that you can use to play around at those in those kinds of battles in order to have a better earning ratio. You make more money or a net profit per credit per game, or 4 credits per game, to be able to play some of the bigger, badder tanks. Like this thing gets destroyed, I'm talking 15,000, 16,000, 17,000 credits to repair it. Well, depending on how I do, I could either break even, maybe make a little bit of a profit, or if I just have a bad game, I'm not going to make any credits on it. Even in the Stug, you're the tier 5 tanks. You run right out there and you die, you're going to get a few thousand credits. You probably at least break even, if not make a little bit of money. So that's essentially how you want to do it. Now let's talk about some of the other stuff. In particular, let's start off with the modules. These are, well, not modules, but equipment. These are the equipment. These are kind of premium things that you can buy to put into the tank. For example, camouflage net. You can see I have an improved ventilation system in there. You can put a gun rammer in it. These are different things that you can buy for 500 100,000 credits, 200,000 credits, all the way down to 50,000 credits, depending on what it is, to help your tank perform a little bit better. These modules do not get, when you want to sell this thing, they don't get demounted for free. You don't take them off of there for free. You have to spend a little bit of money on them in order to take them off. So let's see. You can see if I wanted to mount this, it's a complex equipment. You cannot demount complex equipment for free. You can demount it for 10 gold or destroy it. That's why I bought gold. So that when I buy new tanks, I can change the equipment to put onto the new tank. Otherwise, say I play in the Stug and I want to use my improved events on the Yog Tiger that I just bought, and say that, you know, this isn't here, I would have to go up and make another 500,000 credits to be able to put an improved event on here. That takes a long time. The easiest way to do that is just to use some gold, and you can buy it for about $5. Save up on it. I barely ever use gold for anything. Save up on it. If you want to get rid of the tank, you demount it for the 10 gold, and then you can just put on the other tank. Otherwise, when it comes to modules, don't put modules or the premium stuff on the lower tier vehicles. Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4, not really worth it. Tier 5, when you can start making a lot of money, you can start putting modules on there. Tier 6, 7, and 8, that's when you start talking about putting the, or not modules, excuse me, equipment on there. So, what can you do other than that? If you don't use it for that reason, if you're going to sell this thing and you don't take it off, it gets destroyed. So you just wasted essentially the 2 or 3, 400, whatever, 1,000 credits you just paid to put it on there. And one final thing, if you're going to put these kind of modules and that on there, only put it on not only tanks that you want, that you can have a good chance of making money off of, but put it on tanks that you're going to be keeping for a while. I really like the Stug. That's why I put the modules on there. I really like the Yog Tiger. That's why I put the modules on there. I don't particularly like the Panther 2. That's why I don't have any modules on there. You got to keep that in mind. Just, you know, kind of basic common sense stuff about it. Let's talk about the equipment. Now, this is the equipment here. No, I'm sorry. This is the equipment here, also known as consumables. These are things like repair kits, fire extinguishers, first aid kits. You can buy these if you want, and you can see there's different costs per 1,000 credits for them. But I would suggest not doing it, and there's a couple of reasons. Well, let me put a caveat to that. The first thing is I would suggest only doing it for the higher tier tanks, tiers 6, 7, 8, 9. Because if you put it on some of the medium tanks like a tier 5, by the time you get destroyed, it's really not worthwhile. You can spend an extra 5,000 to, say, repair your tracks or whatever, and it eats into your profit. You're better off just letting the thing get destroyed and saving and making 10,000 and just moving on to another tank and playing a different game while you're waiting on this one. Also, not only for that reason, but when you start getting into the higher tier games, the tiers 8, 9, 10, that's when, on the other hand, you want to stay alive as long as possible because it costs a lot of money to run those things. If you can get destroyed quickly and it doesn't cost you anything, don't bother with the consumables. If you get destroyed quickly and it costs you a lot of money to do that, then you're going to want to use the consumables to try to keep yourself alive. Let's talk about the crew. The biggest thing about the crew is you use 1 or 2 tanks. Let's say we'll use the Stug here as an example. I'll put a crew in the Stug and I'll keep playing with it for a long time. And say I don't like the Stug. I use my crew, get them all the way up to 100 and some odd % here. Then when I sell the Stug, because I don't like it, let's see, when I want to sell it, I'm going to send all this stuff to the depot if I can, if I have the gold for it. But I'm going to send my crew to the barracks. That's going to keep these guys with their 100 and some percent abilities and skills, and it's going to keep all these extra perks so that I can put this crew into another tank destroyer. So let's say in the Ferdinand, there's no crew in the Ferdinand. Say I have the Stu crew in my barracks and I just bought the Ferdinand, I don't want to buy a crew for it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click here, I'll put all those crew members from the Stu into it, and then I'll retrain them. So we'll just say the Panther is the crew member that came out of the Stu. Go to his personnel file, go to training. I want to train him to the current vehicle, and I'll spend 20,000 credits to do so. Now, if you move from different vehicle types from a tank destroyer to a medium tank and vice versa, which is happening here, it's going to move it down to 80% crew, I guess, skill level with spending 20,000 credits. If it stays among the same, so medium tank to a medium tank, it'll be at 90%. Plus you add in the different abilities he has, like he's got mentor, so he's going to end up boosting up the other crew members' abilities. It makes it much easier for you to have a better crew right off the bat instead of having to start off at a 50% crew member or 75% crew member or have to spend any money on it. That's the easiest way. That's the way that I have gone. For example, with this thing, I took out my crew members out of the Ferdinand. I had just bought the Panzer SFL5. I put all these crew members that came right out of the Ferdinand in here. And that's why you can see there's one left here. Take him out of there. You can see when I first brought this up, there was just this one guy here. It's because everybody else had went here. And I have played maybe a couple of games with this thing, 2 or 3 games. I spent the 20,000 to retrain these guys, but you can see they're already at 93%, 102%. And that's going to make a huge difference when you play this thing. They're going to be shooting better. They're going to be loading the gun faster, aiming better, driving quicker, be able to spot enemies at a better distance, so on and so forth. That's the best thing that you can do for your crew. And that's why if you have a crew that's really experienced, send them to the barracks and reuse them in the same types of tanks later on. And again, use your smaller tier, like a tier 5 tank, to start churning up a bunch of money so you can buy the 20,000 credits and retrain, not buy the credits, but to use 20,000 credits to retrain these guys into the different crew or into the different tank. Ammo. Let's talk about some ammunition here. In particular, let's talk about gold ammo. Gold ammo is, or also known as premium ammo, ammunition that you can buy with, gold, or you can buy it with credits. These cost a lot more money to be able to buy this kind of ammunition. You can see right here, 109 credits for one round here, but it's 2,800 credits for one round here. You want to stay away from gold ammo if at all possible. The credits, you can use the credits to pay for it, but it doesn't really come out to your benefit. If you're making, say at a tier 5 tank, you make 10,000 credits per game on average, and you start shooting gold ammunition, you've got, 3-4 rounds, and there goes your net profit. And if you're gonna use it very sparingly. Basically, where it's coming down to the wire, and either you make the shot and you win, or the other guy makes a shot and you lose, then you can use it then. But I would suggest staying away from gold ammo if at all possible. Finally, I want to talk about missions. Missions are special things that you can do, special scenarios that you do in order to help you get extra money. For example, keeping score, 10,000. If you score 10,000 worth of damage, you can get 25,000 credits. These missions not only give you something to actually play for, something fun to do, but they give you a benefit at the bottom of it. 25,000 credits. If you score 25,000 damage, you get 75,000 credits. Score 50,000 credits, you get 150,000 credits. Or 50,000 points of damage, you get 150,000 credits. It's important to go for these things. Always keep these in the back of your mind so that you don't play all day and you have one more game away from 150,000 credits and you end up quitting for the day. Keep these in the back of your mind and work towards these things because they'll benefit you as well. And one other thing along the same lines I want to talk about really quickly is wargaming does have a lot of like promotions, I guess you could put it. They'll sell equipment at half price. They'll sell equipment for 30% off. They'll sell tanks for, say, there's none on here now, but maybe the Yog Panther is being sold for 30% off. So instead of 2 million credits, it's 30% of that. So like 1,600,000 credits or whatever it might be. I'm not very good at math, so whatever it is, it is. But keep an eye out for those kind of premium, or not premium, but promotions, because those will come out into a huge benefit for you. Just try to save as much money as you can, be as frugal as possible to be able to play the game for free, because it is difficult. And finally, if you do want to spend some money on the game, as I have, there's one of two things I would suggest that you do. One is you perhaps buy a premium tank. You can go and buy a premium tank. You see here the Dicker Max is a premium tank. The E25 is a premium tank. You can only use gold to buy these things. Premium tanks are good because they'll give you special matchmaking, so you're not going to be going against really tough opponents. If you're say you bought the E25 in a tier 7, you will not be going against tier 9 tanks. You'll be going up to against tier 8 tanks. So they're good for that respect. You can also move crews in and out of them more easily so that you can train your crew up. Say, for example, I just bought the Stug and I already own an E25. I can take this crew out of the Stug, put them into the E25, level them up, get them up to 100%, and then put them back into the Stug without any penalties. And they make more credits too. Premium vehicles make more credits. Other than that, if you're going to spend money on that, that's one thing. Or buying the gold so that, like I have, if you end up deciding you want to sell a tank, you can demount the equipment without having to suffer the consequences. You can actually demount it instead of having to sell the tank and have the equipment get destroyed. And finally, as a general all-around tip, subscribe to the Wargaming emails. Check your email because, again, those promotions and stuff will come up in there around holidays, Christmas, like famous tank battles. If you're in the U.S., the 4th of July, those kind of holidays will also have special events going on and things of that nature. So be sure to try to play around those times if you can. And all those different tips and tricks will help you be able to play World of Tanks for free. Again, it's a difficult, tough road to hoe. I've done it, and it's going to take you a while. But if you don't want to spend any money on the game, this is the best way to go about doing that. So please like, comment, favorite, subscribe. That lets other people know that this is a worthwhile video to watch. That has some good information in it. Help spread the word so that other people in your shoes can also play the game for free too. So let me know down in the comments if you find this helpful. If you have other tips and tricks that'll help me be able to play the game for free, I'm all ears. Anytime I can save money, love to hear that kind of stuff. So with that, I will see you on the next video. Take care, man. Bye.